I did from 2009 through 2012 with 1 second place. So yeah, we went back and forth between first and second place for 4 years straight. You're willing to do whatever it takes to be successful in your craft, whether that is in business or in sport. What is the next challenge for me to accomplish? And I knew I was going to go in the health field, so if I could get my body to look that way, then maybe it would help me with my business too. Being able to understand what it feels like to tap into that next level can really help with any other sport that you play. Having better body awareness when learning new skills, even as an adult, can play a huge role in how efficient you are at learning it, how quick you pick it up. Finding something that gives you that competitive drive as much as a bodybuilding show would. Yeah, I think that's been the most challenging thing since stopping competing. Or since retiring from the stage. Every other sport you can play and then you can go home and you can, rest, or you can eat pizza, So with bodybuilding, it's all encompassing, and finding something that requires that type of drive has been challenging. But after the first year I retired, I decided I was gonna do something completely out of my comfort zone to challenge myself, and I did a triathlon. I got third place in my triathlon. And then I got kettlebell certified, so I spent 6 months training for the SFG1 certification. And yeah, so I'm constantly trying to one-up, better myself, learn new things. But yeah, it's forever gonna be a chase to find something that is gonna be as competitive as I was when I was competing. I think a lot of coaches get stuck in their own methods. To be a good coach, you need to be able to be flexible with your programming and listen to what will fit their lifestyle the most, not what you think will be best for them. So it has to be what makes sense and what this person feels they can implement into their life, and not something you feel you have to force onto them. So I still train like an athlete. I still train for strength primarily, so weight training is a huge priority of my lift, or of my exercise. I do cardio in the morning before my daughter gets up. So it's the best time for me to get it in, and it's a great way for me to start my day. It's what I've been doing for so many years, and it just has become part of my life. Having an active lifestyle is everything. It helps give you a better quality of life overall. It helps manage your stress. It helps, getting outside and being active is so good for your mental well-being. And you want to be old and move. Your body is meant to move. You don't want to be old and be confined to a chair or a bed. So you want to live the longest quality life you possibly can, and I think that really stems from being active. I definitely have a different approach to nutrition now. It's not as restricted, but I still make health priority, and I still treat my body like an athlete. I want to feel strong, I want to feel good. So I have a lot more variety in my nutrition, but for the most part, I eat anywhere from 4 to 6 times a day. I still make protein a priority, and then I have obviously a lot more fruits and different veggies, and we go out to eat and have treats on occasion and all that stuff that wouldn't be allowed during a Olympia prep. I weight train 5 days a week right now, sometimes 4, but usually 5. And it's usually for 45 minutes to an hour. I still do the split body part, like bodybuilding training, unless I'm super short on time, and then I'll do like a really high intense 30-minute circuit. When you have a 2-year-old, sometimes things happen. You just gotta get it in and get out. But yeah, I do cardio in the morning, most mornings, so I would say 5 or 6 days a week for 20 to 30 minutes. And I like to mix it up. So I have fun with my workouts, but I still train hard. Online coaching is something that I've been doing for, I think 12 years now. I've been a trainer for over 20 years, and for the first half of that, it was all in person. But when I started traveling more through the competitive field, through my competition years, it just made more sense for me to do things virtually. And given the platform that I had, I was able to reach so many more people all over the world, anywhere from 6,000 to 8,000. So now I have a team of trainers that work with us, and We do virtual challenges now, which allows us to reach even more people at more of a basic level, and it's really fun. So Empower Nutrition is our sports supplement company, and founded it in 2017. So I was an athlete with a couple companies throughout my career, and at the end of the agreements, I had opportunities to sign on with another company, or white label a product with another company, or invest my savings into creating my own line. And I felt with creating my own products, I could do what I wanted and to be a part of every step of the way and create the products that I felt would benefit not just me, but what I would want to recommend to my family and my friends and the people that, you know, I care about. So, and also to help people along their journey. It's been a really, fun process, but frustrating at the same time. If you've ever been an entrepreneur, you know that frustration, but it's really fun. So we've grown the products, expanded the line more so the last couple years, but it complements all of the nutrition and training programs that we already offer. I think women tend to be, in my experience, a little bit more hard on themselves, where they feel like they have to be perfect with everything and they have to be able to handle everything that comes their way. And if they make a mistake, they have failed. And I'm sure that that is the same mentality in a lot of men. I work with 90 to 95% women, so that's what I have more experience with. I mean, it's a really awesome feeling to be able to have a voice that people trust and want to take your advice. I have made a point, especially in the later half of my career, to learn more. It's really easy to get used to your old routines and the things that you know, but fitness changes so fast. So you've got to keep up with continuing education. And I really pride myself on learning more. You know, when I had a baby, throughout that whole process, I felt like I did women such a disservice by not having more knowledge with prenatal and postnatal training. It really isn't very prevalent. Like, there's not a lot of information out there. And I think there's still this whole community that looks at women who train while they're pregnant and are afraid for them. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. It's harmful to the baby. When in reality, it's one of the best things you can do throughout that whole process. And so after that, I ended up taking 2 different pre and postnatal coaching certifications because I wanted to learn more about it. So I have SFG1 kettlebell certification. I think it's a mistake to assume that bodybuilders understand all modalities in fitness, because kettlebell training is a completely different ballgame. I actually hired a coach for 6 months to train for it. So I registered for it and I thought, this will be really good for me to do something different, learn a new modality. But then I soon realized that it's one of the most difficult kettlebell certifications you can get. And I knew the bare minimum of kettlebell training. So that was first. And then I have the Girls Gone Strong pre and postnatal certification. And then the most recent certification was the pain-free performance coaching certification. So yeah, I think it's a big responsibility, but it's really, really cool when someone follows your plan and says, hey, I saw these amazing results. Thank you so much for putting this together, because I feel the best I felt about myself ever, or in years, if ever. That's a really awesome feeling. I think I take it in a little bit more when someone else says that they've seen great results and great progress from something that I created for them versus myself. Because as a competitive person, when you do well at something, you're on to the next thing. And I don't think you really take in, at least I don't, when I've had success. I take it in for a minute and then it's, what do I have to do next to be, keep leveling up, or at least keep where I'm at. And when you have someone that approaches you and is really heartfelt in their experience with what you've provided, I think it does make you take a step back for a minute and like look at what you've just done for this person's life and how you've changed it and impacted it in a way. And yeah, I don't want to say it's more meaningful, but maybe in some ways it is, because for me, like I like to challenge myself and just keep being better, but I don't often take the moment to say, you know, Nicole, you're doing a good job, and I should do that more often. So I think that's probably one of the biggest differences. There's a big difference between book knowledge and practical experience. And when you have a combination of both, I think you can relate to so many more people than if you just had one or the other. So, you know, I have schooling in wellness and health promotion. Exercise science is what my degree is in. And I have taken my body to extremes practically. And I know what it feels like to put the training and intensity at that level in order to look that way. So I can speak a whole lot more from experience. I've been through injuries and rehab, so I can understand what that feels like when someone has that same feeling. So the combination of both, I think, is incredibly necessary in order for you to be a really good coach. We are really close to launching our last challenge of the year, and I posted about it yesterday on Instagram, and someone commented and said, a friend of mine joined every one of your challenges last year and lost a total of 80 pounds, and now she is becoming a personal trainer to help coach other people. And that was such a great feeling. So we hear a lot of stories like that where people start one challenge, and you know, when you think challenge, you think restrictive everything, super basic, and I want people to have variety. So I'll have things that, you know, people feel are off limits just to show them that they can still see progress and have a lot of variety in their nutrition. And I think that opens people's eyes to the possibilities, and it makes it feel like they can actually follow it for long periods of time, and the tools that they learn, they can continue including into their lifestyle long after, you know, the duration of the program lasts. Well, I think what's next is continuing to navigate this part of my life. It's still fairly new having a child, and we have a lot of business goals to continue to create more virtual programs for people all over the world, to continue to grow what we're already doing, and yeah, I'm just having a really fun time doing it. So that's about it.